Hey, folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Chocklett Factory with the man himself, Blane Chocklett. Blane, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, just trying to stay out of trouble. You were kind of dragging ass a little bit when I talked to you earlier today. You just finished up a 5-day smallmouth school.
Yeah, Mike Schultz and myself hosted a group of guys and showing them everything smallmouth bass, and we had the help of Josh and those boys over at Virginia Trophy Guides, and we had a great week of smallmouth fishing, everything you could think of. The first day we did our master class and did a bunch of tying, talked about flies, seasonal changes, tactics, techniques, fly lines, selections, all that kind of stuff. Pretty much everything you'd ever need to know about the different aspects of smallmouth bass and how you target them. And then we got them all on the water and had some great days out there. Caught some really nice pre-spawn smallmouth in rough conditions. It was blowing about 30 every day, but you have to fish those conditions, and we made it happen. Everybody caught some really nice fish, and looking forward to the next one. We've already got them wanting to do it next year, so we'll do an alumni smallmouth camp and do another master class deal. So probably going to do 2 of them next year. So
Very neat. Yeah, it's kind of funny. You get to March and April, and just makes me think about flying kites in Virginia because it's just a little bit windy.
oh man, I tell you what, I'm getting too old for this stuff. I'm tired, man. It's been a couple days on the water where my hands are swollen from gripping the oars and trying to keep the boat going downriver when it's blowing upriver 30 miles. When you're rowing as hard as you can just to keep the boat in one spot and keeping it from getting pushed back up the river and starting all over again, that's blowing. But we made it happen, and they did a great job. They learned in very tough conditions, and the Virginia bass, showed themselves well. And we caught quite a few 19, 18 inchers, and didn't pop that 20 mark, but we had some on that got off. But, that's fishing. Sometimes we win. But we showed them a lot about pre-spawn stuff and all the different lines and angles of casting and how to fish the flies properly and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like everybody that joined this particular group, everybody seemed to be very happy with it. And so we're looking forward to coming back next year. They all wanted to come back next year and do an alumni trip. Just everybody gelled. And, I think not only are we just teaching, but we're also creating friendships, so all these people we had were awesome, and they all really got along well. And that's a big part of what we do and why we do it, right? It's all a small community, and it's all about making memories and friendships.
Yeah, absolutely. And, tomorrow you get ready to get blown all over 81 so that you can make it to Frederick for one of the, I don't know if it's the premiere, but one of the early premieres of Lefty's movie, right?
Yeah, it's actually the premiere. So I'm going to go up and see Ross Purnell, meet with him for a day, and he's the main guy, head honcho at Fly Fisherman Magazine. We've got some projects I'm doing with him this year, and then going to go stay with my buddy Jay Nichols, and we're going to drive down from Pennsylvania down to the Frederick, and that is the premiere for Lefty's documentary. So I'm super excited to be a part of that and looking forward to what Jay put together. I know it's going to be great because anything Jay does is always good. And, Ross being a part of it, I know they're going to honor Lefty, and, Flip is the narrator for it. So you couldn't have a better person to do it, as close as Lefty and Flip were. So it's going to be a special night, and just honoring an icon and fly fishing, the man, the Godfather. So I'm real excited to be a part of that, and thankful to be a part of the film in a small way, and just can't wait to see what Jay put together. It's Lefty deserved it. If anybody did, Lefty did. He was like I said, the Godfather, and as Flip would always say, he was the internet before the internet was there. He was always connecting people and he was always great about that and sharing his knowledge, and we don't want his memory forgotten. So it's great to see that they're putting stuff out there for the younger people that didn't really know Lefty or know about him, and making sure that everything he did for all of us is appreciated and honored. So it's going to be a great event, and I can't wait to see it. And we're going to highlight that again down in Florida at our Legends Lefty Kreh's Tie Fest down there, which I know we've talked about that before, but that's coming up the weekend of April 25 through 27, where we've got a lot of the icons that's still around, like Flip and Chico and Andy Mill and Rob Fordyce, Carter Andrews, Hillary Hutchinson, Oliver White, and a bunch of others. I don't want to leave anybody out, but it's going to be legends on top of legends there. So it's going to be one of those events that shouldn't miss, because we don't have any idea how long we're going to be able to hang out with everybody, and I'm super excited to get Larry Dahlberg down there, because he's always been in and out of fly fishing, but I don't know that there's a greater angler that's ever lived than Larry, and having him be there, I'm super excited to get him connected with people and back in the industry, and just making sure we highlight these guys and honor them and let them know we love them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's not all the travel you've got. I mean, you've got stuff stacked up kind of into the spring through the summer, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm leaving in the morning, heading up to Pennsylvania and then Maryland, and coming back for a couple days, and then I've got a week long trip to Texas to do a fly tying class at Dirty Waters in Dallas, or just outside of Dallas. Actually, I think it's near Fort Worth, and doing a couple club events there, and got two of those. Then I'm flying from Texas over to Georgia to be a part of my good buddy Jared over at in Georgia on the coast down there near St. Simon's Island, and he's putting on a great event down there for a film tour and basically a fly fishing festival at his shop, and going to be doing a tying event class there for him. And um, I get back and got a couple other events I'm doing, and then we got that big Florida event, and I've really got to look at my calendar. It's I'm not going to be home very much here. Probably I told myself last year I wouldn't do that, but doing it again. So I'm gonna miss spring here in Virginia again, and won't be home probably till mid-May for a little bit. But it's the way it is, man. You got to keep grinding. It's grind to shine, like Schultz says. Just grass is definitely not growing under my feet these days. So I'm happy to do it and want to be a part of these great events. Like I said, the Jack Project is a big part of what I want to do in the future, as we've talked about, with making sure we are proactive on some fish like jacks that aren't protected right now. We want to make sure we get some guardrails on making sure that jacks are healthy and not overfished. And the same thing what we did with albies. So for me, we're doing that film, so I'm going to be traveling around the country highlighting Jack Crevalle, and we're going to end up doing a film. And so we're going to be hitting 5 or 6 different areas across the country, and should see a film by the end of the year out about jacks and the conservation and protection of those. And it'll be highlighted in a bunch of spots, probably be in the film tour next year as well. So stay tuned for that. It'll be great. Jacks are exciting, and there's a lot of great visuals about them and how powerful they are, and just the aggression that they have. It's one of my favorite fish, and it's time that they get the recognition they deserve. And I know the fly community really appreciates them, but it's time for the whole fishing community to really appreciate what we have before something happens to them. And, again, we don't know that they're endangered or not, but we want to make sure that they are protected in long term, and they deserve to be classified as a game fish. And, that's what we're trying to do. So
Yeah, with all that traveling, you better make sure you change the oil in the struggle bus.
yeah, right. No kidding, man. But it'll be fun. I'm enjoying it, but definitely looking forward to having some downtime with the family and getting a little bit more concentration on the Chocklett Factory itself and all the new products and stuff that's coming out with that.
Yeah, and just to highlight for folks, as we're heading into smallmouth season and kind of warm water fishing season, I mean, you've got some great stuff. You've got, don't let me leave anything out, but I know you've got crayfish claws. I know you've got pre-cut parts for Helgermite, so no more buying punches and punching your own foam circles out. What else have you got going on?
Yeah, we got all the new wings as well. So we can do anything from cicada patterns to damselflies, dragonflies, stoneflies, house flies, you name it. We've got all that. I'm excited to get more stuff on that out there, working with videographer on all that. So there's going to be a lot of, I guess, sizzle type stuff that's going to be coming out in the future about all the different patterns I've been holding back for the years, all the new tie-in materials. We've got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming down the pipe here in the next 6 months, and looking forward to sharing that with everybody. We got shrimp body parts coming. We've got crab body parts coming. It's a lot of different unique things. It's not the same thing that you see out there on the market. And how I am, I've always wanted to do my own thing and, make the fly tying easier and better and innovative. And that's where I am. And, as well as I do, we've been holding stuff off for a very long time. And now is the right time to make it happen. And, I think, the fly tying community is going to be excited about it. I really hope they are. I feel like they will be, because a lot of this stuff is just going to make fly tying better and fishing better.
Yeah, and you got anything going on the apparel front you want to let folks know about?
We got some new hats in the works. That was a real success on the last launch. We're working on that and going to have some more sheaths for pliers coming out from Corey, who does a great job on, his different leather parts and whatnot. And going to be doing some stuff with sight lines with Edgar, bringing out some more cuffs and bracelets and stuff like that. And I'm sure we'll do a couple t-shirts and hat and other hat projects that's on the pipe. So yeah, there's, like I said, just like my travel, I'm not sitting still. We just, it's trying to find enough time to get it all done and making sure I'm not forgetting anything, you know.
Yeah, there you go. And if folks want to follow your adventures and keep track of all that stuff or buy something from the shop, where should they go?
You can hit my website, which we've shared many times. You can reach out to me on Instagram. I don't get on Facebook a lot, so don't feel bad if you don't hear from me. So if you want to hear from me, reach out on Instagram. So yep, just doing all that stuff, man. Just trying to keep the train on the tracks between the mustard and the mayonnaise.
Well, absolutely. And, I know you'll be home for Easter. I'll be up there too. So maybe I'll have a chance to come and grab a Corona with you. But wish you safe travels. And folks, we'll be back in a month or so for another update from the Chocklett Factory. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Blane.
Thanks, man. You too.